So we recently got an email from a fan that's having a problem with his car. That's so common, I almost didn't want to answer it back. But I figured that since this was an easy one, we'd go over what the typical diagnostic procedure in our shop would be. Hello, I have an unusual problem with a 99 328 BMW that might be solved by our BMW ace and founder, OJ. I have been experiencing unexpected battery drain. After sitting overnight, the battery sometimes has insufficient charge to start the car. A quick recharge will restore full function, but does not solve the underlying issue, as it happened again, though not always. The battery and charging system have been tested and checked and are okay, so a mystery. But then, I've also noticed that the heater fan sometimes has been running sporadically all by itself. The car is off, the key removed, but I hear the fan start and run slowly. Then speed up, then slow down, then stop for about 15 to 20 seconds, then start again, and so on. This does not happen always, but frequently enough to make it the number one suspect for my drained battery problem. I suspect the climate control module. What else could it possibly be? Have you guys ever seen this problem? Is there a way to check the climate control? Is there a way to repair or replace? I presume it's long since out of production. Your insight and guidance is earnestly and respectfully requested. Jared Hoke. All right, Jared, we actually have heard of this happening before, and like I said, it's pretty common. The first place I'd look when doing diagnostic would be a parasitic draw test, but in my experience in dealing with this so many times before, I'd probably actually go right to the final stage resistor. Anything that's controlling the fan and having it run sporadically or weirdly, on or off, regardless of the key, usually ends up being the final stage resistor. So, always start with your checking your fuses, making sure you have power going to the unit, but the final stage is pretty common on these cars and kind of exactly describes your situation. This job is pretty straightforward to do. The final stage resistor is located back here. You have to remove the glove box. It's kind of in the center console up in this corner. So it's straightforward. The problem is visibility is so low, you've got to do a lot of it through touch. So I'm going to pull this glove box down here real quick and kind of show you what I'm talking about. There's a number of screws that need to be removed from the perimeter of the glove box here, but in order to do that, we have to remove the limiting straps that hold the two outsides here. And they're held in through a plastic clip that you can usually just lever off with a flat-bladed screwdriver. You don't want to break them, so you got to be careful. You see it drops down. And when it drops down, that gives you access to all the screws that are around here. I'll put a picture up of where the screws are located. But there's one's up here, one's back here, one's back here. And once you get that out, the glove box basically drops down and allows you to access that final stage. I'm going to remove this real quick. With those screws out of the way, the glove box starts to want to come out, but you have to take the light out. You want to pry from this end and remove it, and that should allow the glove box to come down the rest of the way. There is a wiring harness that runs along the top here. And then you can disconnect the flashlight and get that out of the way. All right, with the glove box out of the way, you got to do two more things. Basically, see this vent tube here? The guy we're looking for is just behind it. See that brown wire, green connector going up there, and that gold screw? That gold screw is for the stepper motor control housing, and that's that guy here. So that guy's got to come out. There's a screw there, and up on top of the unit, further up, on top of that box back, hard to see with the camera. And then I'm going to get that off, and once you get that off, we can access the blower motor controller. Okay, with the stepper motor control housing out of the way, that's the final stage. There's a clip up top there just past the connector. I like to use the connector as a harness to yank out the final stage, so I'll unclip it first. You push this guy back against that guy there where my finger's at, that guy against the firewall, and that allows this guy to come out. And I just hook my fingers around here, yank it out. So there it is, pulled out there. That's the final stage relay next to the stepper motor controller. They're still plugged in for reference. This one actually is the new design. I just pulled it out for reference, but that's the guy that'll cause parasitic draw, a erratic blower motor, or no blower motor working at all. Like I said, it was pretty easy to access. It only took a few minutes, and we can do testing from here. Hopefully that gives you a diagnostic direction and you get this problem figured out with your car. If you guys are having any more problems, or if you think this issue might be related, I included some links in the comments below on how we do a diagnostic draw test, as well as a blog relating to this particular problem. If you're having any more problems and you like this segment, go ahead and either drop a comment or hit us up at blog@fluidmotorunion.com with your questions, and maybe we'll try to answer them. Thanks a lot.